to Wind Down with Books with your girl Kay. So first, I have to start off with an apology. So I know my last video was about 3 weeks ago, but guys, honestly, I have been reading trash books that are not worthy of a review, and I don't want to waste y'all time. I value you guys' time, and I'm just like, I'm reading all these books. It's not worth me talking about the books. The books are, honestly speaking, trash. So that's why I haven't done a review, because I don't have a book to talk about. But I also remember that I had my book club pick right here from when I went to book club. So I'm like, I actually enjoyed this read. So why not talk about Rootless? I know the next book review, though, is going to be House of Eve by Cedrica Johnson. I hope I pronounced her name right. And I'm looking forward to talking about that review. But that's the reason why your girl haven't been on YouTube, because the books have been trash. But anyways, we're going to jump into Rootless. So if you read this book, drop it in the comment. Drop it in the comment section. So we're going to start off with my girl. So I always forget the main character's names. Effie. There we go. Effie. So Effie is from Ghana, and she's residing in London. So she, at this point, like, she's all grown up, she's an adult, right? So the book, it goes like, it goes back to the past. So it's detailing events that led up to Effie's decision to leave her husband, right? Her family, her husband and her child. So, and which I enjoyed that, getting the backstory and then the events leading up to it. It was really engaging. So let's see where I want to start. Where do I want to start? So we just gonna talk about Effie, right? So Effie comes from a Ghanaian household in which, you know, the mother is the matriarch. You got the father. She loves her father dearly, but her mother is a woman who has great success in Ghana. And, you know, she's trying to instill greatness in her daughter, because Effie has a sister, which I respect. But, you know, she's pushing them and pressuring them to get into careers that ultimately they just don't want to do. Like, the life that the mother wants for her daughters, they don't want for themselves. They want to be creative. They want to find space. Like, Effie enjoys art. Like, she's very good at art, creating art. And that's her passion, but her mother pushing her towards a career that just makes money. It's money driven, and it's also driven to where, you know, the family's from Ghana, the mother and the father lives back home in Ghana, so the kids went abroad to study. So it's like, I sent my kids abroad, they better become successful because the people in the village are going to talk about me. That's what it's all about. It's not really about the daughter's happiness, their fulfillment. It's about keeping the neighbors not talking about the family, because the mother is deemed high and mighty. She's like this. She works like what is she, the director of a school, principal, something like that. But she's successful, right? So, and she's a show off. Let's just say she's a show off, right? Her daughters are very smart. I forgot Effie's sister's name, but her daughters are very smart. But they don't want to go the route that the mother wants them to go, and it's a barrier, especially when you're going against your parents' wishes. The father is just like, you know, I support them, I support my daughters, I love my daughters, I want my daughters to be happy. So it's always the mothers, always the mothers. No, let me stop, I'm just playing. It's not always the mothers, but most of the time the mothers be doing too much, because the fathers be wilding too. The fathers be wilding, but it's just like the mothers be projecting onto their daughters so much that they push them away. So I should mention that Effie and her mother had a very strong relationship. Like, they were very close. And I'm going to tell you what happened when that relationship broke, right? So Effie is the older sister, and she has a younger sister. So I'm going to just stop right there. Long story short, the girls moved from Ghana to, well, this is the second time. The girls moved from Ghana to London when they were small, and then they ended up going back to Ghana because the incident happened with Effie, in which Effie was like bullied. She got really hurt, like her back was really damaged. She got injured, right? So they moved back to Ghana. You know, Ghana's their happy place. They're free. Like, you know, I've never been to Ghana, but anybody that watches my video from Ghana, I just hope to, the way that Ghana is described, I want to go. I want to go. And I want to see what the battle between the Ghana jollof rice and Nigeria jollof rice. I just want to see, like, what's the difference. But anyways, yes, so they feel peace in Ghana, right? the parents come one day like, oh, you guys gotta go to London for a better life, you gotta be successful, go to school, whatever. So the parents shipped them to London with their aunt, and they just didn't want to go, and the kids didn't have no say so. So Effie has always been very timid. Like, her sister was easier to make friends than her. So when Effie got to London, you know, she had a hard time adjusting, and like assimilation just wasn't her thing, right? So she's just dealing with that. But the good thing is that they was going to a little boarding school, whatever. Well, I don't think that's really considered boarding school, because boarding school is when you like you sleep. So they went to a school, like a prep school. We're just gonna call it prep school because it's not boarding school. But anyways, yes. So the good thing about that is that they had a cousin who was very popular, who attends the school that they went to. So Effie started linking up with her cousins, you know, that from when she started linking up with her cousins, you know, she started relaxing a little bit more, she started making friends, and that's where she meets a boy named Sam. So I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit. Her and Sam grow close together. They're friends, you know, they communicate, they attracted to each other, it's whoop-de-woo, but you know, they're dancing around. Everybody know, like, Effie and Sam, like, from when they was younger, they was gonna be a thing. You just know when people's gonna be a thing, right? So I'm gonna pause there on Effie, right? So now we're gonna talk about Sam. So Sam is black, of course. Sam comes from a two-parent household, but unfortunately the mother left the family. Like, one day she just dropped them, was it at school or something, dropped them home, make sure they was good, and she never came back, right? And so she just left the family, so they was raised by the father. So Sam has gone through life dealing with basically it's a loss of his mother, the abandonment of his mother. He had to raise his younger sister, of course his dad had to work, so you know he had to grow before his time, and you know he never had the chance to deal with his emotions, so he projects a lot of his emotions towards women and mothers specifically onto other people, right? So Sam is more of a shield off person. Like, he doesn't really open up, he doesn't talk about his feelings, and when he does talk about his feelings, it's like I sometimes. But I will say he's very caring. Sam is very caring. But he could be about, like, into himself too much, and it's just like, yo, chill. But him and Effie, you know, they work. Effie is also so we could go back to Effie. So Effie is also on the type of timing, like, she technically, like, she's going through schooling, and she realizes, like, you know, school is not for her. She wants to do art. She likes reading, she likes all these things, and that's what her interest is. So she decides, again, I'm fast forwarding, she decides to, like, you know, she flunked out of school, and she tells her parents that she flunked out of school. She started working in a bookstore, and she's getting, you know, progress there, right? So she's doing things at her own pace, in her own way. Effie also does not want to have children. Like, she wants to be in a relationship, but she doesn't want to have children. She has no desire. She doesn't have the maternal instincts or nothing. So it got to a point in the book where Effie's younger sister, you know, she wasn't really happy in London. She met a guy, a boy in her village. She ended up getting married, moving back to Ghana, right? So it's like Effie went back for the wedding. Everybody's like, oh, how was your younger sister getting married before you? Whoop-de-woo. You know how people talk. So that's all in Effie's head. And Effie's just like, you know, I'm not in any rush. I'm just trying to figure out things. Like, just let me rock, right? But of course, you know, the mother's just like making excuses. First of all, the mother's disappointed in Effie because she dropped out. Well, she didn't drop out of school. She flunked out of school. She's not in a career where she's making money. She's working for a bookstore. So, you know, the mother is just ashamed of Effie. So Effie feels that energy, and she knows that at the end of the day, Effie's going to do what Effie's got to do. I resonate with Effie's character because, one, I'm going to do what I want to do. Two, it's about my happiness at the end of the day. Forget what your parents have to say, because at the end of the day, your parents is not living a life for you. Three, I don't desire to have no children. That was another issue that she had with her family, is that they kept pressuring her and pushing her to have children. She's like, no one ever listened to Effie concerns. Effie would brace. Effie would communicate her concerns and her wants and her desires, and they would just be like, no, like it's gonna change. Like you're gonna get older, you're gonna see that it's gonna change that you want kids. I hate when people tell me that. I know for a fact I do not have a desire to bear children. I don't want that. I don't see that. It is what it is. Why can't people accept that? So that's what Effie was, the type of time Effie was on, right? Boom. Because you'll see it, and if you read the book, like there was a point where Effie went back for like her sister, and her sister had a baby, and the sister asked Effie to hold the baby. Effie took the baby, and she just started having like a anxiety attack. Like it was just too much for her. And I respect Effie. Like, now that doesn't happen to me. I love kids. I love kids. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I got a little maternal instinct. I just don't want kids. Like I want kids and give them back to their parents. You feel me? Give them back. Give them back. I want to be able. My books are my babies. Those are my babies. But anyways, so boom. We're gonna fast forward. So as Sam and Effie get older, they realize like, yo, I really like you. Let's get together. They start dating. Whoop-de-woo. So Effie I don't really gotta mention that part. So, cause Effie at one point was dating a white guy, but y'all know how I feel about books that's centered in London, and the main character dating a white guy. They just don't understand their microaggressions and their fetishes and stuff like that. So I don't need to address that again. So we just gonna fast forward to Sam and Effie. Sam and Effie end up getting together, right? So this is where issues start to arise. So Sam and Effie have several conversations about Effie's wants and her desires and the way that she wants to go. So Sam desires to have a family of his own. Like he wants the wife, he wants the children, he wants the home, he wants all these things, right? And he loves Effie. So when him and Effie have these conversations, he hears Effie. He's like, I understand. Like we could make do. But he's going into the relationship with the mindset that this is how she feels right now. But because I love her, she loves me. I'm gonna end up changing her mind. So I'm gonna settle for her what she has right now, what she thinks right now, and her position right now. But down the line, it's gonna have to change because that's what I want. And that's where Sam really messed up, because in the book, like, people was like, oh, Sam did no wrong. Sam did wrong. You knew who Effie was from the start. You knew where Effie stand, and you still went into it with the intentions that you was going to change her mind along the way because that's what you want. But you disregarded what she want, right? So, boom. I think it was like, 5 years that passed by of marriage, whoop-de-woo, everything is going good. At this point, Effie's life and career path wasn't going as planned, but in her life, it was like 4 or 5 years later, I said, things start looking up for Effie. She starts getting opportunities. Her career is about to take off, and she's been taking birth control, and everything's good. And then for some reason the birth control was supposed to be 99%, but she was in that 1% that she ended up getting pregnant on birth control, right? And she's devastated. Like, I felt Effie in the book, because that's how I will be. Like, I will be crying. Like, wow. Like, because I understood her. Like, it's not something that she wants. She's scared as hell. She can't understand how this could happen, right? So then she ends up telling Sam. So she tells Sam, like, yo, like, I don't want kids. Sam is like, oh, we could make this work. So Effie was thinking about having an abortion, right? So she was thinking about it, but Sam she was basically forced into keeping the baby. I'm gonna keep it 100. She was basically forced into keeping the baby because she was thinking about everybody else's feelings, right? I'm gonna pause right here. I should mention the start of the book starts off with Effie taking $1,300 out of the account and leaving the household, not calling Sam, not talking to him, and she gets on a flight and she's gone, right? That's how the book starts. But yeah. So anyways, Effie now, where did I stop? So Effie decides that she's gonna keep the baby, right? So fast forward, The baby comes, she doesn't have a connection with the baby. The baby's constantly crying. She's constantly just like not on a sleep pattern. She's driving Effie crazy. And it got to the point where I forgot to mention, right? So before Effie had the baby, her and Sam had a conversation. Sam was like, you're not going to be in this alone. I'm going to be there for you, for the baby. Like, we're a team. Like, I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to step up. I'm going to be here, right? And then I should mention Sam's profession. He's a lawyer. So, lawyers work long hours, whoop-de-woo. So Effie's just like, all right, that settled her a little bit because Sam was like, we're going to be a team. We in this together. Let's do it. When the baby comes now, where is Sam? Where is Sam? Where is Sam? Sam is at work. While Effie had to put her career on hold, right? She's taking care of a newborn baby by herself. She's suffering from postpartum depression. Sam is no help. She's up with the baby all night. The baby won't stop crying. The baby, she can't connect with the baby. She's just having a difficult time. So she's voicing her concerns to Sam, and Sam is just like, I'm working, whoop-de-woo, and I'm trying to be there. And it got to the point where I was pissed off at Sam, right? Because if I had a conversation with my man, and my man know I didn't want to have a kid, and I'm scared of having a kid, and I have this kid, and you told me that we were going to be in this together, you read all these baby books, because I should mention, Sam read like 1,001 baby books, so he was prepared for this baby. Then when the baby comes, you do the opposite of what you say. What you want me to think? I'm supposed to be happy? Yeah, a baby's a blessing, but if I didn't want the baby, I'm just sorry. Like, I'm supposed to be happy? Like, it's not all the time where you have a baby and then all of a sudden everything just changed when you have a baby. No, because your mind is still on. I didn't want this baby. My career is now on hold. My life was just started. Like, come on. But I understand Effie had to take some accountability. Although you was on birth control, you knew that birth control wasn't 100% foolproof. So you already know what it was. Like, you shouldn't have said in you. So that's that. So I understand on that side, that point of position. But at the end of the day, I understand Effie's feelings where Sam did not do what he said he was going to do. So it got to a point where, she was suffering from depression. And I don't understand, if Sam read 1,001 baby books, how could he not see the signs that Effie was suffering from postpartum depression? And it was to the point where she just wanted time for herself and she couldn't get that. He wasn't understanding that. So they were arguing. I'm just like, Sam, like come on. So at one point, her parents had to come from Ghana and come for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, how long ever it was, to stay to help Effie with the baby. They had a girl, by the way. Because it was just too much and Sam wasn't doing his part, and the mother had came and was like, yo, I want to take Effie and the baby back to Ghana. You're not doing your part. They're not happy. And then Sam was like, you're not taking my kid and my wife. And that's when Sam realized, like, yo, I really got to step up. So I'm like, that's what makes you want to realize when your family's about to go. But Effie was on the type of time, like, I'm not leaving my husband. Me and the baby staying here. I'm going to be fine. So she ended up staying, right? Again, Effie kept sacrificing for her family. But it's not like she didn't love her daughter. Like, she really loved her daughter. But she was struggling with the idea of being there for her husband, being there for her daughter, a sense of identity. She was just getting her life off, like, on track when she found out she was pregnant. So that's a lot for one person to deal with, and she's just constantly on the go and putting everybody else's need before her own. And she's been doing that since she was young. So she didn't have time to really take time to just process everything that was going on. Everything was just happening fast, right? So boom. So now we're gonna fast forward, right? So now that the child is like older now. So the child, I want to say 4 or 5, right? So Effie's just like, okay, the child is older. My career is is booming again. Like, I'm on track. Guess what happens, yo? Guess what happens? She find out she's pregnant again. So she's really mad because not once did it happen. Now it happens twice. And she's just like, oh my gosh, like, the universe just don't want her to mess with her. So I'm like, Effie, like, I feel you, boo. I feel you. Like, you now, again, you get your life on track. Your child is older now, and you gonna be pregnant again. So at this point, she had went into the bathroom. She wasn't even gonna tell Sam. And honestly, I wasn't even gonna tell Sam, because they got to the point where, you know, after their first child, Sam also kept pushing for another baby. Like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. And Effie's just like, you wasn't really there for the first baby. You know what happened to me the first baby, and you pushing. So she wasn't going to tell Sam about this baby, right? So Effie really has her mind up this time when she found out that she's pregnant, that she's not having this baby. That's not what she wants. She can't do it again. She can't go through those long, 6 months of the newborn stage where it was just too much for her. She almost didn't make it. And I should mention, Effie almost left the family the first time. I forgot what happened that she didn't leave. She decided to stay. I forgot what happened, but she almost left the family the first time, and she did it. And I was like, yes, Effie, yes. So now that she finds out she's pregnant again, she goes to tell Sam. She tells Sam, like, I'm pregnant again. Sam's like, oh my gosh, we pregnant again. Yes, this is what we're going to do. This is what we can do. Effie's like, yo, chill. Sam, I don't want to have this baby. I don't want to do this again. You need to understand that. Sam is just like, no, we'll get through it. I wanted another baby. You know, I want a big family, whoop-de-woo. And Effie's just like looking at him like, you're not hearing me. You feel me? You're not hearing me. I said I don't want another child. So Sam is just like, you know, as the days go by, Sam starts buying a teddy bear hair, a bib hair, or was it like the onesies here, and put it in places that Effie will find it. So Effie going around the house and seeing that, it's pissing her off. And I'm not gonna lie, that would piss me off too, because now you forcing me to want to have this baby, making little reminders. I told you I need time to make my decision, and you putting little hints around. You're not saying it, but you indirectly trying to persuade me. And that really pissed Effie off. And I was pissed off at Effie, because I told you, give me some time. You pressured me again, right? So anyway, so Effie just feels precious. She needs a sense of release. She needs a new environment. So Effie takes money at the bank. She hops on the first flight to Ghana. She goes to her sister's house, right? She doesn't even tell her family she's in town. I'm going to pause. Actually, no, we could continue, right? So she hops on the flight. Sam comes home with his daughter. They looking, Effie had left him a voicemail saying something, whatever. He playing over the voicemail, calling her. Effie's not answering. So, you know, the daughter's asking, oh, where's Effie? I mean, where's mommy? Sammy's like, you know, she'll be back. So Sammy's just like, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna do? So, of course, Effie pulls up in Ghana by her sister. The sister's like, oh, what are you doing here? So, long story short, she breaks down to the sister and tells the sister, like, I'm pregnant. I came here. You know, I needed my timing, but I came here because I want to have an abortion. You're going to help me. Long story short, the sister's like, the sister is not with the abortion, but she's going to support her sister, right? So she takes Effie to the clinic where they have like it's not a backdoor abortion, but they have she goes to a doctor that says he knows what he really doing with the abortion. She has the abortion, but she has, like a bad reaction to the procedure, and she's sick, throwing up, cramping, all that, right? It's very, very bad. So weeks go by, Effie's in Ghana. Sam is just like devastated, calling. He's fed up, right? But this is where I say Effie's dead wrong. At the end of the day, you know, it's one thing to leave your husband, because I'm quick to leave, you know what I'm saying? I'm quick to leave. But it's one thing to leave your child. At the end of the day, you don't leave your child. But I can say she was going through depression. She couldn't figure out how to hold herself above water and hold her family above water. And she did what she thought was best for herself. And which I understand both sides of the story. It's hard to try to comprehend how a mother or a father could leave their child. It's just, you got to see both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. In Effie's circumstance, I wouldn't leave my child, but I understand why Effie left the family, right? But I don't condone what Effie did, but I understand from both sides of the story. She was lost. So as time go by, Effie's still in Ghana. and Sam is going through it. So this is the part with Sam that I didn't respect. So Sam gets pissed off, right? Which I understand that Sam gets pissed off because Effie leaving triggers their memories again of his mom leaving him, right? Abandoning him and his sister, his father. So I understand it's just like you going through the same situation again with your wife. But I didn't respect Sam because Sam didn't see the role that he played in Effie's decision too. Like, it was always about Effie, you not understanding we could work this, do. You not really trying to validate Effie's feelings and see her perspective. And I'm just like, you read all these books, but you can't comprehend that. So it got to a point where, you know, Sam went to go see Effie's cousin's show because she was on Broadway singing Whoop De Woo, and he ends up sleeping with Effie's cousin. I'm like, really? You gonna sleep with the cousin because you real mad at Effie and you didn't care about Effie? Like, I mean, he cared about Effie, but you real mad at Effie that you gonna sleep with her cousin? At this point, you should just go sleep with somebody else, but the cousin, you dead wrong. So anyways, now we back to Ghana. So Effie's hiding out at the mom's house, the sister's house, and one day the mother comes over to the sister house and realizes, like, oh, Effie, you in town. So the mother's like, oh, what are you doing here? Where's Sam? Where's my grandchild? So Effie's just like, long story short, they're not here, I'm here, I had an abortion. So the mother is pissed off. She like, I can't believe you did that. It goes against God. It goes against everything you stand for. Like, I would never forgive you. So the mother's mad. That is the reason why Effie and her mother relationship falls, right? So the mother stops speaking to Effie. And I'm like, damn. So now we back in London. So it got to a point where I'm fast forwarding again. I don't want the video to be too long. So at one point, Sam's sister ends up finding their mother, and the sister has been communicating with the mother, going on dates with the mother, whoop-de-woo. So Sam wants no part of the mother. The sister's like, oh, you know, she's changed. Everything, she's changed. You know, she goes, let's talk to your mom, talk to mommy, talk to mommy, talk to mommy. Sam's like, no, I don't want no parts of her. At one point, you know, his daughter spends time with, you know, her grandfather and her aunt, and the daughter ends up meeting the Sam's mother, and Sam is just like, you know, what the heck, like, why would you do that? So at one point, again, I'm fast forward, Sam decides that he's going to he's going to have a sit down with the mother. And he had to sit down with the mother and basically, like, you know, to get that closure, to get the answers that he needs. Because I should mention, there was one part in the book where Sam did find his mother working at a office, and, you know, he invited her to coffee. She never showed up. So after that, you know, that was like the icing on the cake, and that was years after. So now it's just like, he's just on, like, why would I meet my mother again and she stood me up the first time? So he finally decides to have a sit down with her and just ask her, you know, why she left. So the mother says she basically left because, you know, it was too much, basically similar to the reasons why Effie left. It was too much, you know, she didn't know which direction she was going. It got to a point where, you know, she was trying to build her career. She was singing in, like little bars and stuff here and there. Then she got the opportunity to go on tour. She was touring, and then, you know, time just kept going, and so much time had passed by. She didn't know how to come back to her family after that. And, you know, she was just trying to find herself as well as be a mother, and everything was a lot. And she didn't do it on purpose. It's just like, you know, you chasing your goals, your career, and then time is just going, and when you stop, it's like, damn, like, you know, I didn't mean to abandon my family, but it happened, and she's always regretted that. It's the reason why she stayed away was because of how much time went by, right? And she didn't want to ruin her kids even more. So Sam just listens to her, and he you know, he respects, like, what she says, whatever, and then he starts processing Effie's situation, and Effie's leaving, and, you know, his position on everything for the most part, right? It also got to a point, before Sam came to this realization, I skipped a part. He had flew to Ghana, and he met Effie in a bar. Effie told Sam in the bar that she had the abortion. Sam is pissed off. He just can't look at her. He can't forgive her. He like, this is the worst thing that you could ever do. This betrayal. You left London, go to Ghana to have an abortion. I had no say so. So he flies back to London, and that really sealed the deal for Sam. He's just like, he's gonna make, basically he's just like, Effie's no longer part of him and his daughter's life. He stopped allowing Effie to talk to her daughter. Months go by, Effie doesn't speak to her daughter, Sam doesn't speak to her. It's like, you know, they fall into a routine, and, you know, it was like Effie's non-existent, but Sam still loves Effie. But again, this is before he had the conversation with his mom to come to the realization of Effie's position. So it got to a point where Effie's beefing with Sam, Effie's beefing with, her, not really her sister, but her mother. The mother's not talking to Effie, and Effie's trying to take steps to reconcile with the mother, but the mother is headstrong, like, oh, the mother just won't forgive Effie, right? So Effie stays in Ghana. You know, she meets this guy who has like a studio. She starts painting her feelings, and she's growing like her little business there in Ghana, where she's selling her paintings, and, you know, things are looking up. She's getting in a space where she's happy. She misses her family. She tries to reach out to Sam a couple times. Sam's not answering, right? So again, months pass by. I forgot what happened. I should mention, pause, I forgot, this was a big part too. Sam's father had fell ill, right? This is before Effie left. Sam's father fell ill, and, you know, he had a stroke. He was suffering from a stroke, and Sam just threw Effie into the mix to take care of his father. So not only was Effie taking care of her child, she was taking care of Sam's father. Sam's father was having memory lapses and, you know, gait, involuntary movements, walking, all of that. And he kept hitting Effie. So at one point he had punched Effie in the face. Effie had reached out to Sam like, yo, your dad just hit me. Sam comes to the house, is like, I can't keep running to the house every time my father has a bad episode. And Effie was taken back like, nigga, oh, sorry. Like, this is your father. This is not my father. You never asked me if I wanted to do this. You just assumed because I'm taking care of a baby and I'm home, that I have the free time to take care of your father. And it's too much. Your father's too much. Raising this child right now is too much. You're not no help. It's just me, like me. And Sam was just like, he didn't have a care in the world. It was just about Sam. He was working. Sam felt like he was providing. Effie should just, you know, that's the least Effie could do. He disregarded her feelings over and over again, and Effie reached her breaking point. I have to put that in there so y'all can see all the factors that led up to Effie leaving. Again, I don't condone Effie leaving, but I understand why she left. It was just so much. Sam was no help at all. But back to Ghana, right? So again, Effie's establishing a life in Ghana because she'd been reaching out to Sam. She's like, you know, I want to speak to my daughter. Sam refuses to allow her to speak to the daughter, and he's just like, you know, we could start little by little, whoop-de-woo. So at one point, Sam had reached out to Effie because his father fell ill again. He was in the hospital, and Effie was the only person he wanted to speak to. So, you know, Effie picked up the phone. She's like, we could go as slow as you want to go. And I should mention, Sam did tell Effie about sleeping with her cousin. I give him that. He was respectful, right? Whatever. So they start talking slowly. I'm fast forwarding again. They start talking slowly, and Sam just realized that, you know, I really love Effie. Again, after the conversation with the mom, he starts putting everything into perspective and realized, like, you know, Effie was struggling. She had to do what she had to do, and we could make this work, right? So he finally allows her to start talking to her daughter. So the daughter, because at one point, the daughter was forgetting the mother because so much time had passed by. So when she finally got to speak to her mom, it was just like a sight to see. And Sam realized, like, you know, I can work through Effie getting the abortion. I'm going to start putting her first, right? So I'm just like, okay, progress is being made. Effie realized that she really does love Sam, but she had to find, her leaving, she needed to find a space to find herself and just to find happiness, and just to learn how to cope and gain the skills to navigate through life. And she was happy, right? So, Effie starts telling Sam about the paintings and her show, and Sam is like, I want you to come home. When you coming back? Whoop-de-woo. Effie's just like, I'm gonna come back after the show. So again, I'm fast forward. So Effie was doing her show again. Her paintings are selling, like she's really doing good. So before the show, right, Effie goes to have a conversation with her mom, because sometime has passed and the mother's still holding on to this, right? So Effie basically tells the mother, like, you put so much pressure onto me. You never asked me how I felt. You never asked me anything of my desires. Like, you're not trying to understand where I'm coming from. And the mother's basically like, we gave you guys everything. Like, you don't think that I understand that you hurting, but what you did was unforgivable despite how you feel, and I can't forgive you. So they got into this really big fight, and Effie tried. Like, she tried. The mother would not hear of it. The mother ended up, locking herself in the room. The father comes home and is like, the mother will come around. Your mother will come around one day. Effie's just like, you know what? It is what it is. I tried. So, some days or weeks or whatever pass, Effie's preparing for a show. So at this point, Effie and Sam decides that, after the show, she's going to come home. They're going to start fresh. Sam's going to do better. Effie's going to do better, right? So Sam decides that, okay, the show is in Ghana. He's not going to tell Effie. He wants to surprise Effie with him and the daughter. I forgot the daughter's name. And show up to Ghana, right? So on this day, Effie's at the art gallery. She's looking at her work. She's happy. She knows the show's going to be a success. She invited her family. Everybody decides that they're going to come to the show except the mother. The mother wants no part of Effie, right? So Effie was at the gallery, and I think she had to go back for something at her apartment. So she leaves the gallery, she goes to the apartment, right? So she's getting ready for the show. The father's like, yo, you got to get ready for the show, whoop-de-woo. So Effie's like, yes, I know. Sam gets to the gallery, he sees everybody, the family, whatever. Again, it's a surprise, so Effie doesn't know that Sam is there. So Sam pulls up to the gallery to view the show, the art show, and this give me a second. Like, the ending of this book really got me. So Sam pulls up to the show. He looks at Effie's painting, and Effie has painted, like, there's pictures that they took, right? She painted those pictures, but within the pictures, it's her true feelings. Like, she looks sad. She looks anguished. Like, she just looks devastated in some of these. And Sam finally sees, like, although the pictures that they took reflect happiness, Effie's true feelings, it wasn't happiness. Like, it wasn't. She was depressed most of the time. So Sam, from those paintings, Sam's realized, like, he didn't stick beside Effie. Effie was really hurting. Like, she was in pain. And he realized, like, me and my wife, like, we going back, we going to make this happen, right? At the same time, Sam is at the art gallery, right? Effie calls a cab, right? So Effie gets in the cab. It's really, really bad weather. I feel like I'm tearing up. So it's really, really bad weather. And they drive into the art gallery. Effie's reflecting on her life. She's reflecting. She's really happy. She's like, I got my show. I got the career. I'm getting my family. Like, I'm going to see my family when I get back to London. Again, she has no idea. She had just spoke to her father. She's like, she's not even thinking about the fight with her mom. And it got to a point where the weather was so bad. And the cab driver just couldn't. He did the best that he could. But the car steered off the road. And the car plunged into... the river, and she's getting all these flashbacks of her daughter, herself, or her life, and so Effie's plunged into the river, her and the cab driver, right? So Sam gets a call from the dad, like, there's been an accident on the road, we gotta go to the hospital, whoop-de-woo, right? And Sam pulls pulls up to the hospital. So before I read the part, I'm like, okay, Effie got into an accident. Like, you know, she's just got her life back. She's happy. Like, she's feeling fulfilled. She's hurt. Like, okay, she's hurt, but they gonna overcome it. Like, she's gonna go to her rehab. Ooh, right? No. So Sam pulls up to the hospital, right? So Sam had to go confirm Effie's body. Like, I'm really hurt. Like, this really hurt me. Like, I was crying. Like, I'm not about to cry on camera, but I'm hurt. But so Sam has to, you know, confirm Effie's body. And that broke me because I'm still so mad because after everything that Effie went through, why would you end the book like that? Why would you end the book like that? Like, why would you end the book like that? Effie didn't get a happy ending. She got a happy moments. She didn't get happy ending. I'm so mad. Like, y'all can see how bad I'm really emotional because I was rooting for Effie's character and you gonna kill her? Why would you kill her? Like, I don't understand. Why would you kill her? You gonna kill her and then, like, you gonna kill her? Like, you gonna kill her? Anyways, so now the mother finds out that Effie's dead. Now the mother is hurt. And honestly, I had no sympathy, no empathy, no remorse for the mother. All the feelings that the mother was feeling at the end of the book, she deserved that. Because at the end of the day, Effie made a decision for herself that Effie had to live with. Right? Yeah, she had an abortion. You didn't want to understand why she had an abortion. Effie did what was best for her. You push Effie to the side. The last argument, you tell Effie that you're not going to forgive her, did whoop-de-woo, all of that. And all those hurtful words you said to Effie, you could never say sorry. You got to live with that for the rest of your life. And I was happy. I'm not going to say I was happy. But I'm lying. I was happy that the mother felt what she felt, the pain that she felt, the regret that she felt for the things that she said to Effie, because she would never get the opportunity to apologize for Effie because of what she said, because she was so caught up in her own life, she was so caught up in her own feelings that she refused to acknowledge her daughter's pain, her daughter's hurt, because she's selfish. That's exactly what she got. Had no remorse for the mother's character. None. She got what she deserved, and the feelings that she had to resonate with those feelings for the rest of her life. She had to sit with those feelings, and she had to ask God for forgiveness for this feeling, because she can't ask Effie because Effie is dead, because the author killed Effie. But anyways, so it got to the point where, you know, Sam is devastated now, and I'm just like, I felt bad for Sam because Sam was dealing with a lot, and he never healed from his past trauma. So when you don't heal from your past trauma, we all know that it could correlate transition over to your adult life, and it could mess up relationships. So I understand Sam. I hold no fault to Sam. Sam lost his wife. Sam had a reason to feel hurt with his wife. Again, I still don't mess with Sam for sleeping with the cousin, but whatever. So it got to the point where Effie's parents was like, you know, we want to be in your life, Sam. We want to be in our granddaughter's life for the sake of Effie. They released some pictures of Effie at the end, and yeah, that's that. And I just gotta say this, parents, you know, when your children come to you telling you, like, really trusting you with their feelings and communicating that and really opening up, you know, and you gotta get out of your own way, like your own feelings. It's not about you, you know. You can't keep trying to live through your children. You can't keep trying to project onto your children. You can't keep trying to want your children to be what you want them to be. At the end of the day, children have to make their own path. You can only guide them and instill in them the tools that they need in this world, but ultimately they need to be themselves. They need to find themselves, all right? And forcing them into do things is only going to push them away. And you can see, it never ends good. It never ends good. And I enjoyed this book. You know, although the ending made me mad, like, just seeing the struggle that Effie went through in her life and how it ended, it was just, like, devastating. But it also speaks to this day and age, right? Like, a woman like me, I don't desire to have children. Society said, oh, you're supposed to procreate, have children, whoop-de-woo. It's okay for us women not to want to have children, right? And the only thing, like, in the book, you know, the mother liked to quote God, and you're supposed to do this based upon God. Like, God knows our heart. God knows that sometimes you don't always need to have children. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you forcing somebody to have children, you only end up hurting the child because now that mother can't give the child the love that they need because the child was never wanted. And that's a harsh reality to accept. But can't keep forcing women to have children. Can't keep asking women when you're gonna have children. People need to be mindful of other women's feelings. Like sometimes, what if you ask a woman, when you're gonna have children? The woman can't reproduce, right? Can't have children. You gotta be mindful. I think it's time to stop asking that question. Like, when you gonna have children? Like, just mind your business. When it happens, it happens. If it don't happen, it don't happen. Mind your business. Mind your business. That's it. Period. But anyways, I really connected with Effie's character. And I'm just hurt that she's dead. I know it's a book, but she's dead. She's dead. But I fast forward a lot because, again, this video is probably long. But anyways, guys, if you read the book, drop in the comments. What do you think about what I said for the book? I'm coming with the reviews. It's the books. The books are not hitting. And you guys haven't been giving me any book reviews. What's up? Y'all don't rock with me no more? Nah, let me stop. But yeah, drop in the comment. Give me the book reviews. I'm trying to get these videos out. I appreciate everybody who comments, who asks me where I'm at. I appreciate the support and continue watching my videos from the bottom of my heart. Truly appreciate it. But again, the next book review is going to be House of Eve. I'm looking forward to that book. If you read Yellow Wife, this is by the same author. And until next time, your girl is out.